side. AfterMath is the ultimate weapon of choice for live-fire training that is as close to real as it gets. Realistic weight, operation, and function make the AfterMath Arsenal the platform of choice for tactical training operations.
Tactics training is important, especially for a tactical team, but as well for general officers, for officers who are not necessarily tactical officers. They have to get this type of training as well because they're out there on the street often without help, without backup. We cannot totally simulate a gunfight in training. I mean, we just can't do that. All we can do is come as close as we can come. You have to try to make the training as close to reality as possible. Force-on-force training, such as what is done with airsoft, puts that adrenaline into the training. When you get hit with airsoft, when you get hit with it, it hurts. When you're about to go on a training exercise and you realize if you make a mistake, you're going to get hit and it's going to hurt, it can affect your performance. This is taking them another step as close as we can get them, and giving them as many mental and subconscious tools as we can give them to take them a step closer to being able to perform correctly and to be able to perform effectively in a real situation.
AfterMath is the ultimate weapon of choice for live-fire training that is as close to real as it gets.
Training with paintball, for instance, has its benefits, but a paintball gun doesn't look anything like a real weapon. The subconscious mind may not associate paintball with gunfighting. So you want weapons that are very similar to what you're actually carrying, what you're deploying with. People who are covering, for instance, a tactical team making an approach to a building or something like that, we use these long weapons like these SOCOM M14s to cover our approaches, and the AfterMath type SOCOM 14s that we're using here, just very similar to what we have.
We're actually using the AfterMath airsoft rifles, and I was using the MP5, and I believe it will shoot 400 to 500 feet per second, and I can prove that basically by the welts on my fingers and my body from getting hit. Very accurate. The weapon actually weighs the same weight as an actual MP5. I was very impressed.
They have the same weight, the controls are the same, the safety switch is the same, the trigger feels the same, you've got the same sighting system.
You can, you can load the thing up in about 2 minutes, it's ready to go. It's battery operated. It's got a little wind mechanism in the magazine. You wind it up and it just keeps the bullets coming out. You can fire it semi-automatic, fully automatic.
So we can have these guys training with basically the same thing that they deploy with. They can be training with it under stress in force-on-force situations and actually be looking down the sights of a SOCOM M14, looking down those sights in the exact same way they'd be looking down the sights if they had to engage somebody in a real situation with a real M14.
We were a good 100, maybe 75 to 100 yards out, and we were actually hitting people on the top of a 50-foot tower. I mean, it is realistic, the ease of use, and it's inexpensive.
When you fire an airsoft pellet, you are not spending 50 cents every time you pull the trigger. So you can get more training in for less money.
I mean, you're shooting little round plastic balls, or a bullet costs $1 a piece. I guess $5, $10 for a whole case of these pellets. I mean, you can't go wrong on them.
Airsoft is probably, in my mind, the absolute best deal for the money in terms of realism and in terms of, once again, cost effectiveness and the cleanup and all that sort of stuff. I think you can get a lot more training time with airsoft.